really want to talk about four important freedoms that Africa needs to adopt. And this is not something actually new. It's not anything new. It's something that is already being used or being adopted in Europe, or shall I say, it's something that they already practice or they use. I don't know what was the right English to use for this, but anyway. So those four freedoms, by the way, the boys just feeding the dogs just at this pond here, and the road is just really very busy there as well. Well, roundabout, and yeah, so taking a walk, bright day. So the four freedoms. Let's talk about these four freedoms that are really very important for the development agenda of Africa. So you see, in Europe they do have this freedom of people, so which means that from one country somebody can just travel to another country, so which people can just move freely across European countries, even the so-called some of them that are not part of the European Union membership, because European Union membership, it's not all the countries that are located in Europe that are members, like Norway or Iceland or some other a few ones. They are still enjoying those four freedoms, right, just by the side of the road. Again, the roundabout and cars moving, and yeah, maybe a bit noisy. Yeah, so those four freedom, yeah, freedom of people. You can move from one country to the other. So, and this is the thing that we're talking about in Africa as well. Like, why is it that people have to be, kind of like applying for visa to visit from one country to the other? Make it open, let everybody just move around, and and there's one helicopter just flying as well. So there's a local airport not too far from here, so that helicopter there, I don't know whether I can see it well, but it's just over there. So yeah, so freedom of people is one thing. Like, people should be able to just without applying for visa. And the second freedom is the freedom of service. So which I mean, like, for example, you have that this I think the sun is really very bright, so the camera possibly not seeing that place properly. So there is this, and by the way, this area as well, actually it's like industrial park, so or business park, not industrial, let's say business park, where there are a lot of businesses, so not that much industry. So but that actually might be classified as industry, because there is a propeller. They produce their propeller for aircraft in that place. So, and it's a company that's been around for a very long time, but this is one of their new offices. So what am I saying here? Freedom of service. So they can provide service for one another country, even though, I mean, Britain is no longer part of the European Union, but they can see kind of like provide services. But let's just use countries that are, say, member of the European Union. For example, they can provide services from one organization to the other, maybe financial services or whatever other services are there, and they can move goods as well. That's another freedom of goods. They can move goods from one country to the other. And yeah, so this sort of like a little mini pond or whatever it is called there. So they just got that safety, if somebody possibly drop in the water, and then to be able to save them. Yeah, so yeah, so freedom of goods, where you can move goods from one. I'm just going to sit down here. Look, there's a little seat. Yeah, and yeah, so freedom of goods, so which you can move goods can be moved from one country to another freely, so which this is something that we should do as well in Africa. Like, say, imagine somebody want to move goods from one country to another. At the border you might get there's a lot of I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, custom check still need to be done. Yeah, so this is a pond, and then there are a lot of dogs and what about you know, birds? And then there's a plant as well, so it's nicely floating on the water. And then there are fish as well. There are also fish in there, so which, if the water is very clear, sometimes you see them, goldfish and some other fishes. Well, that's wrong English, because there is nothing like fishes. I mean, my kids always correct me about this. So there isn't there isn't a plural for fish. Fish is fish, so there isn't fishes. And then the other boy, well, one of the boys just down there, got his helmet on with scooter that I came with, and yeah, actually there is a little bit of you know, a little mini waterfall there, not a natural one, artificial one. Yeah, so I'm going to show you that. So yeah, freedom of goods, freedom of service, and the one freedom as well that is very important is the freedom of capital, which is money. So, well, not just money, but you know, they use capital for a reason. Freedom of capital, and then there you go. So that's the little mini waterfall, artificial one, not a natural one. And then, yeah, so this is the roundabout, busy, noisy, cars moving by. Yeah, so this freedom of capital, so which I would say money as well, so which is part of it is the currency that they do have. One currency, euro, which is currency for the European Union member countries. So you see, this is a really 4 freedoms which are really very critical, and this has been responsible for the success of Europe in the modern time. So we're talking about the freedom of goods, the freedom of people, or freedom of person, or freedom of service, and freedom of you know, capital. So which is really very, very important, and this is key to unify Africa. And then the boy just lying down there. I hope you're not going to fall in the water. And then, yeah, so these are the fish. Actually, I don't know if you can see them. There's a goldfish, really. There's a goldfish. Wow. Yeah, boy, you don't fall in the water. If you fall in the water, you can swim anyway. So, but anyway, that's why I had to pay for your swimming lesson. And even though I don't know how to swim, but you can swim good, fine. Yeah. So the freedom is, those 4 freedom is really very important in terms of, like, you know, to unify Africa. Africa need to be unified. So what do you think, actually? What do you think? Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts about. I understand the fact that also we need to actually do things our own way, but if there's a system somewhere that is working, I don't see any reason why we can adopt it, or maybe tweak it, or adjust it to our own taste, or to what we suit us. So, but the bottom line is that, you know, this issue of you know, applying for visa to visit another African country, I think that does need to be scrapped. Of course, immigration check is still going to be done, even in Europe. If you have to, you know, visit another country, you see have to go through custom or immigration check. That's just a normal routine check to make sure that, you know, to be able to know who is coming in and who is going out. So, but not having to go and queue and apply for visa, and then, you know, waiting for, you know, somebody to make decision, and then you have to pay a lot of money as well to apply for this visa. So, and you know, it's just going to boost you know, business. It's going to boost the economy. It's going to boost you know, tourism. It's going to really make a lot of things better. And I did understand that, you know, this francophone and anglophone, or lusophone as well in Africa, and then also there's Spanish. Believe it or not, there's only one Spanish-speaking African country. So, but all of this shouldn't really be a problem, because when you think about it, in Europe as well, they do speak different languages, and at the end of the day, really, you don't even need to like one another. I mean, if you say German and a British person, no, they don't really like one another like that. So, but when there is a rule of law, when there is, you know, when there is really, you know, structured in the way you have to do things, you don't really have to be friends to do business together. So, you know, even the so-called unity thing that we talk about in Africa, I don't really think it's an issue really, because, you know, we don't really need to, as long as we have, you know, proper documentation or proper way that things need to be done, and we organize ourselves, we don't really have to be friends. Yeah, so we don't have to be friends to be able to do business together. So anyway, I hope somebody find this video useful, and also, yeah, leave a comment and as well share your thoughts on this. The 4 freedom that I think you know, Africa need to adopt to be able to unify Africa and to be able to help with the development agenda of Africa. Leave a comment and let me know. And if there's anything else you think, you know, another freedom that you think need to be added as well, or maybe we should do it differently. Maybe we shouldn't even use any of those 4 freedoms that I just mentioned, and just do whatever, anything else you think we need to do. Just leave a comment and share your thoughts. And thanks for watching, and God bless. Are you going to encourage people to subscribe to my channel? Yeah. Well, if they like it, if they like what I'm about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you are here.
Subscribe, and like the video if you enjoyed my dad's content.
And also subscribe to and like to the videos.
Oh, well, he's trying to have a channel, but he hasn't taken it serious enough. But let's see what you can do. Okay, thanks for watching, and God bless.